How many of the so-called full synthetic oils sitting on store shelves are actually just refined petroleum pretending to be synthetic? And how is this even legal? If you've been buying oil labeled full synthetic thinking you're getting lab-created molecules with superior performance, I've got news for you. Many of those bottles contain Group III base oils, which are just highly refined crude oil. They're allowed to call it synthetic in the United States, even though it's chemically not the same as true synthetic oil. After over 20 years in this industry, I'm going to expose exactly which brands are using this loophole, why it matters for your engine, and whether you're actually getting scammed or just getting adequate oil at a premium price. Let's break down the truth behind synthetic oil marketing. First, let's establish what synthetic oil actually means, or what it used to mean before the definition got blurred by legal rulings and marketing departments. True synthetic oil is made from Group IV PAO base stocks, polyalpha olefin, or Group V esters. These are molecules that are synthesized in a laboratory from chemical building blocks like ethylene. They're not refined from crude oil. They're manufactured from scratch to have uniform molecular structure, superior thermal stability, better oxidation resistance, and more consistent performance across temperature ranges. This is what synthetic oil originally meant when Mobil introduced Mobil 1 in the 1970s and when Pennzoil launched in 1972. But in the 1990s, everything changed. Castrol introduced Syntec, which was marketed as full synthetic but was formulated with Group III base oils, highly refined petroleum that had been processed through hydrocracking to improve its properties. Mobil sued Castrol, arguing that calling Group III oil synthetic was false advertising because it wasn't lab synthesized. The case went to court, and Mobil lost. The ruling established that Group III oils could legally be marketed as synthetic in the United States because the hydrocracking process changed the oil's properties enough to differentiate it from conventional mineral oil. That ruling opened the floodgates. Suddenly, oil companies could formulate products with cheaper Group III base stocks, call them full synthetic, charge a premium price, and legally get away with it. And that's exactly what many of them did. Now, before we go further, let me be clear about something. Group III oils are not bad. Modern Group III base stocks are highly refined, they perform well, and they're significantly better than conventional mineral oils. But they're not the same as Group IV PAO synthetics chemically, and they don't perform identically under extreme conditions. The issue isn't that Group III oils are garbage, it's that consumers think they're buying one thing when they're actually getting something else. So let's go through the brands that use Group III base stocks but market their products as full synthetic. I'm not going to sugarcoat this, these are major brands you see every day. Number 1. Castrol EDGE. Castrol EDGE is marketed as an advanced full synthetic oil with fluid titanium technology. The marketing is aggressive. TV commercials, racing sponsorships, premium pricing. But the base oil is primarily Group III. Castrol uses a proprietary additive system to enhance performance, and the oil performs adequately for most applications, but it's not Group IV PAO. You're paying for Group III oil with a synthetic label and titanium branding. Is it a scam? That depends on your definition. The oil works, but you're not getting what the word synthetic originally meant. Number 2. Valvoline Advanced. Full synthetic and Valvoline high mileage full synthetic. Valvoline reformulated these products years ago to use Group III base stocks instead of PAO. The bottles say full synthetic, and the price reflects that positioning. But the base oil is refined petroleum, not lab-synthesized molecules. Valvoline's quality control is decent, and the oil protects engines adequately when changed on schedule. But again, you're not getting true synthetic base stocks. You're getting highly refined conventional oil marketed as synthetic. Number 3. Quaker State Ultimate Durability Full Synthetic. Quaker State, which is now owned by Shell, markets this as a premium full synthetic, but the formulation is Group III based. Quaker State has a decent reputation for quality, and their additive packages are adequate, but the base oil chemistry is not Group IV PAO. If you're buying this expecting lab-synthesized synthetic oil, you're not getting it. Number 4. Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic. Now, this one is interesting and requires nuance. Pennzoil Platinum uses Pure Plus technology, which is a gas-to-liquid base stock derived from natural gas rather than crude oil. GTL base stocks are technically Group 3 Plus or borderline Group 4 in performance characteristics. They're extremely pure, with very low sulfur and excellent properties. Pennzoil's GTL base is arguably superior to many conventional Group 3 oils and performs close to PAO in most metrics. So while Pennzoil Platinum is technically not Group 4 PAO, it's also not typical Group 3. It's a gray area. You're getting a high-quality base stock that's not traditional synthetic, but performs very well. Number 5. Many store-brand full synthetics. Walmart SuperTech, full synthetic. Amazon Basics, full synthetic. Costco Kirkland Signature, full synthetic. These are private label oils that are contract manufactured by major oil companies. Most of them use Group 3 base stocks. They're priced lower than name brands, which reflects the lower base oil cost. Are they adequate? Yes, for normal driving with regular oil changes. Are they true synthetic? No, you're getting refined petroleum with a synthetic label at a budget price. Number 6. Many quick lube chain house brands. Valvoline Instant Oil Changes House Synthetic, Jiffy Lube Synthetic offerings, Take 5 synthetic options. These are typically Group 3 based formulations. The chains buy these oils in bulk from contract manufacturers at lower cost, brand them with their own labels, and sell them as full synthetic at premium prices. The profit margin is significant. The oil quality is adequate, but it's not Group 4 PAO. Number 7. Some older formulations of mainstream brands. Certain viscosity grades or product lines from brands like Mobil, Castrol, and others may use Group 3 in specific formulations while using PAO in others. For example, a brand might use PAO in their flagship 5W30, but Group 3 in a less common viscosity like 0W16 to reduce costs. You have to check the specific product and formulation to know what you're actually getting. Number 8. Many Asian and European import brands sold in the US brands like Edomitsu, Ravenol, Eneos, and others often use Group 3 base stocks in their synthetic formulations for the US market, even if their home market formulations might be different. These brands are typically high-quality oils with good additive packages, but the base oil is usually Group 3 unless specifically labeled as PAO or ester-based. Now here's the critical question. Does this actually matter for your engine? And the honest answer is, it depends on how you drive and what you're asking the oil to do. If you're doing normal driving, commuting, errands, highway trips, and you're changing oil every 5,000 to 7,500 miles, Group 3 full synthetic oils will protect your engine adequately. They're significantly better than conventional oils. They resist oxidation better, they flow better in cold weather, they have better additive packages. Your engine will make it to 200,000 miles without issues if you maintain it properly. In this scenario, the difference between Group 3 and Group IV PAO is minimal in real-world results. But if you're pushing extended drain intervals, 10,000 to 15,000 miles, Group 4 PAO oils have an advantage. They resist oxidation better over long periods. They maintain viscosity stability longer. They have better thermal breakdown resistance. Group 3 oils can handle extended drains to some degree, but PAO-based oils like Pennzoil, Mobil 1, or Redline handle them better. If you're operating in extreme conditions, extreme heat, extreme cold, heavy towing, turbocharged engines, high-performance driving, Group IV PAO oils perform measurably better. The thermal stability is superior, the cold flow characteristics are better, the film strength under stress is more consistent. Group 3 oils will work, but PAO gives you more margin. If you're running a high-mileage engine or an engine with tight tolerances, the superior properties of Group 4 PAO can provide better long-term protection. The molecular uniformity of PAO means more predictable performance, less volatility, and better resistance to breakdown. So are you being scammed? Here's my take. If you're paying premium prices for oil labeled full synthetic and you think you're getting Group IV PAO but you're actually getting Group 3, then yes, you're paying for something you're not receiving. That's deceptive marketing, even if it's technically legal. But if the oil performs adequately for your application and protects your engine, is it really a scam? That's a harder question. The oil works. It's just not what the label implies if you understand the chemistry. Here's what frustrates me as a mechanic: the lack of transparency. Oil companies don't clearly disclose on the bottle whether the base oil is Group III or Group IV. They hide behind the legal definition of synthetic and let consumers assume they're getting PAO when they're often not. If bottles clearly said Group III synthetic versus Group IV PAO synthetic, consumers could make informed decisions, but that transparency doesn't exist because it would hurt sales of the cheaper formulations. So how do you know what you're actually buying? Here's how to identify true Group IV PAO synthetic oils. First, look for brands that explicitly market their PAO base stocks. Pennzoil prominently advertises that they use Group IV PAO. Mobil 1, in most of their formulations, uses a blend that includes PAO. Redline uses PAO and esters. Mobil uses PAO in their performance lines. These brands are transparent about their base oil chemistry because it's a selling point. Second, check the price. True Group IV PAO oils are more expensive to produce, and that cost gets passed to you. If a full synthetic oil is priced at $25 for 5 quarts, it's almost certainly Group III. If it's $40 to $50 for 5 quarts, it's more likely to be PAO or a blend. Price isn't a perfect indicator, but it's a clue. Third, read technical data sheets. Some manufacturers publish detailed technical information, including base oil type. If you go to Pennzoil's website or Mobil's technical resources, they'll tell you what base stock they use. Brands using Group III are often less transparent about this information. Fourth, understand the product positioning. Brands that emphasize extended drain capability, extreme temperature performance, or racing applications are more likely to use PAO because Group III can't deliver those performance levels as reliably. Brands that emphasize value, OEM equivalency, or mainstream positioning are more likely to use Group III. Now let me address the elephant in the room. Does any of this matter if your owner's manual just says use API certified oil? Legally, no. If your manual says use API, SP, or SN certified oil in a specific viscosity grade, any oil that carries that certification, whether it's Group III or Group IV, meets the requirement. Your warranty is protected. The oil will work. But if you want maximum protection, if you're extending drain intervals, if you're in extreme conditions, or if you just want the best chemistry available, then yes, it matters. Group IV PAO is objectively superior to Group III in thermal stability, oxidation resistance, and cold flow characteristics. That's not marketing, that's chemistry. Here's my recommendation. If you're buying full synthetic oil, know what you're actually getting. If the brand is transparent about using PAO and you want that level of performance, buy it. If the brand is vague about base oil type and priced like a Group III product, assume that's what you're getting. Adjust your expectations and your oil change interval accordingly. Don't assume that every bottle labeled full synthetic is the same. They're not. The legal definition of synthetic in the US is broad enough to include both true lab-synthesized PAO and highly refined petroleum. Know the difference, make an informed choice, and don't overpay for Group III oil marketed as premium synthetic. If you're going to pay $10 per quart for oil, make sure it's actually Group IV PAO. If you're okay with Group III performance, buy a budget full synthetic for $5 per quart and save your money. Don't pay premium prices for mid-tier chemistry. Here's the bottom line. Many brands labeled full synthetic use Group III base stocks, not Group IV PAO. That's legal, but it's misleading. The oils work adequately for most applications, but they're not chemically the same as true synthetic. If you want real Group IV PAO, buy from brands that are transparent about their base stocks. Pennzoil, Mobil 1, Redline, Motul. If you're okay with Group III performance at a lower price, buy budget synthetics and change them more frequently. But don't pay premium prices for Group III oil thinking you're getting PAO. That's where the scam happens. What oil are you currently using, and did you know whether it was Group III or Group IV before watching this? Drop a comment. I want to know if this information changes how you buy oil. And if this video opened your eyes to what's really in that bottle labeled full synthetic, hit that like button. We're pulling back the curtain on oil industry marketing so you can make informed decisions based on chemistry, not hype. Next week, I'm breaking down the truth about high-mileage oils. Do the additives actually work, or are you just paying extra for regular oil with a different label? You're going to want to see that.